Welcome to Mythical Phylogeny Adventures. I'm your guide, Jason. The past few weeks, it seems we have had some rather foreboding forces of fantasy, so let's look to something a little brighter. A mythical rabbit, the Al-Mirage. There are many mythical creatures which have arisen around the world. Some are rather unique, and others similar. Amongst such strange creatures is the Al-Mirage, a yellow or gold colored rabbit with a spiral black horn that comes from Arabic and Persian mythology. Some texts say it looks a little bit like a hound dog, but still mostly rabbit. It is said to be born from the moon's glow and the dreams of mortal animals. It is also said to be aggressive, and other animals avoid it. Yeah, this is the little murder rabbit from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. According to some accounts, some even say that it is carnivorous, even going after humans, though some speak of it being docile. Yet it does appear in a few tales. Probably the most well known is that of Iskandar, or commonly called Alexander the Great. During his conquest of Persia, he was said to have sailed into the Indian Ocean and arrived at a place called the Dragon's Island. The denizens of the island were in a bit of a predicament. Their island got its name due to a dragon which lived there, and it had threatened to destroy the village if they did not provide 2 oxen a day to the dragon. Yeah, that is unsustainable in the slightest. But they couldn't slay the dragon. But Iskandar had an idea. Taking 2 ox hides, he packed them with a concoction of his own and presented them as the offerings to the dragon, who greedily devoured them. Oh, but Iskandar had stuffed those ox hides with a rather interesting combination of ingredients, such as sulfur, charcoal, and other active ingredients, or better known as gunpowder. Yeah, the fire-breathing dragon ate 2 bowls worth of gunpowder. I'll give you a minute to imagine what happened. Boom! Bits of dragons scattered around the cavern. A piece of bone over there, some skin. Oh, and look, a string of guts. A big old glorious mess. But the villagers were glad to be free and awarded Iskandar a gift of the Al-Mirage. It isn't said how they caught it. Of course, this is a rabbit-sized animal. It isn't like you can't put it in a box or a jar. Now, like many other variants of unicorns, its horn is magic. Particularly, it has healing powers, cures diseases, and mends broken bones. Pretty unsurprising. It is also said to be fast and strong for its size. When hungry, it can eat an animal much larger than it. So, what could create such an animal? Well, it is similar to the American jackalope and the European Wolpertinger. Both are antlered, rabbit-like creatures. Okay, there is a difference between a horn and an antler. Horns are made from hair and are usually found on both males and females. Antlers are bone and branch out. Yearly the antlers are shed. So, similar but definitely different than the other mythical rabbits. Yet there is a plausible explanation. The Strep papillomavirus is something which can cause rabbits to produce horn-like growths over their body. These tumors are bad for its health. So in the real world, that is what people are probably seeing. This virus targets the hair cells, but not the deeper tissues. At least until it metastasizes. Usually this will be the lungs, liver, and kidney. But what if it metastasizes to the brain? In most species, this can cause aggression, which would mimic what we see in the stories. But how would it really work? Well, a horn is nothing but hair, really, so it is pretty simple. There is a bit more with the tails. Another tale is a little different. It was said to be ferocious and ate their livestock, mostly cattle and pigs. It relied on speed on par with an antelope. They would turn to a witch to protect them and capture it. Supposedly, in this version, it could only be harmed by magic. So, a bit different than the version tied back to Iskandar. Potentially, the witches who caught the Al-Mirage originally, and the people gave it to Iskandar to get rid of it. A little cruel to say, but a powerful ally when tamed. So what do you do when you face it? Well, it depends on which version you seem to be facing. Well, it is described as fast and strong usually, but it is small. That will make hitting it tough. Sure, if you hit it, that is it. A good boot to the body will send it flying. Like I said, this is the rabbit from Monty Python. Yet you can hit it. It is like swatting a fly. except that this one can fight back. Its horn can cause some damage. While it isn't sharp, it can pierce flesh. Plate will absorb most of the impact, but chainmail and gambeson will prevent the penetration, though chainmail could break with enough power. Now, it is said that this could scare off other animals on the island, which did include ox and other livestock. So, if it could take down one of them, it has some power. I don't know about other animals like tigers or up to elephants, since we don't know much about this mysterious island. Now, it is compared to an antelope's speed. The most common antelope from this area is the nilgai or black buck, which can run up to 80 kilometers an hour or 50 miles per hour. So, some speed. Faster than a human to be sure, so be quick. I would bring a shield to help protect you. Now, weapons are going to be an issue. You can't slay it if you can't hit it, so I would avoid thrusting attacks, since that would give you the narrowest margin of attack. Slashes and sweeping attacks will have the best chance. At range, you could chance using a bow and arrow, but those will lose their use once it sees you. Best be a good shot. But there are other ways to fight. A net can entangle and bind it. That can limit its mobility. Now, you could also achieve a similar trick using magic, and the story about the witch proves that magic can work. Ice magic can freeze it in place, letting you strike. Earth magic can help some, but it is a rabbit, so it can dig out eventually. If it is as strong as they say, that will be faster. Fire magic should work fine, but I prefer lightning magic. It is faster, and can end this fight quicker. The best to launch it from stealth. Though the witch may have used other spells, illusions, or spells to speak with it could work. This might be a place where a command animal is better than speak with animal. Curses are also an option. Unfortunately, the story about the witch is kinda vague. The real problem is if it can only be harmed by magic. If that is the case, it will really limit what you can do against it. Yet, do you need to fight? Do you remember when I mentioned trapping it in a box or a jar? Well, simple traps like this can work here. It doesn't need to be elaborate. A little food in a strong container, maybe laced with a sedative, probably reinforced with magic to be safe, that could be enough. Of course, you could always use the holy hand grenade of Antioch. Pull the pin and count to 3 and throw. Just don't count to 4. This is actually going to be a bit of a hard fight. It has some stopping power despite its small size, and it is quick. This can be a dangerous combination. Stay on guard and watch it. Due to the strange combination of size, speed, and strength, I'm going to go a bit higher than I would for other creatures of this stature and give it a 4 of 10 for difficulty. The worst case scenario is if you do need magic. That will limit a lot of parties. Okay, by some miracle you have defeated this rascally rabbit. What do you get? Well, fur and some meat. But this is a rabbit. Those aren't going to be much. You could make a stew, but you would need some taters. And the fur would make a purse, but not much more. But you do get the horn. That is the real prize. It can heal wounds, cure diseases, and even mend broken bones. It is a true panacea, a world cure-all. I could only imagine how much you could sell it for. Sadly, I can't tell you how many uses you'll get from the horn, but even one would be something, I am sure. Cure the deadly disease of the monarch. Save the princess. Yeah, you could do that. And you'd gain the royal favor. That would surely set you up. But what if you could tame it? Iskandar had one as a pet, so we know you can do it. Well, you could train it to fight with you. It is already aggressive, so that would be the easy part. Just need to keep it from attacking you and your allies. So some time to get it tamed, but not impossible. So a fast and strong little torpedo that fights at my side. Yeah, that would be pretty useful. But it is said to eat animals larger than itself, so feeding it might be a problem. Doubly so if it does eat humans. I'll let you choose what to do here, slay or tame. The Almirage is surely an interesting addition to the bizarre list of mythical creatures we have covered, is it not? A murderous unicorn rabbit. Definitely sounds like something from a comedy routine. Though I don't think I'd like to meet one. Thank you for watching, adventurers. Please return next time for the class evaluation of the rogue. Until then, I'll see you on the roads.